What's up, hardstylers? Welcome to another Tutorial Friday. In today's video, we'll be talking about creating a hardstyle kick. This is a video that has been requested by a lot of you guys, and I thought, hey, since we're making an entire track from the tutorial series, why not actually go in and start creating a kick as well for this video. I have to say that lately I've not been creating many kicks because I really created a lot of kicks in the past, and you know, lately I just combined those together to build new ones, because to be honest, kick processing and creation is a very tedious process that you know, takes a lot of creativity, and most of the times you end up with hours of work in every kick project. That doesn't necessarily is a bad thing. So with creating kicks, you have to work with a plan. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. So first off, I'm going to show you guys what a hardstyle kick really exists from. This is not one of my own kicks. This is a kick from a sample project. It's a euphoric one. And I will divide this kick and show you what it exists from. So first, I will go to general settings. And then I will go to project and I will change the time-based PPQ here. I will set it to 192. Especially for this kick project, it allows you to be more precise. It allows you to zoom in further and do minor changes to, for example, the face of those samples. And that's exactly what we want. Now, first I want to show you guys what a hardstyle kick actually exists from in its base. We have several parts, and I'm going to you know, slice this one up to show you what it exists from. Of course, this is the entire thing. If you loop this, you get this. Your common hardstyle, euphoric, stylish kick. And now we're going to separate it into several parts. The first part is this high-pitched starting point right here. This is what I like to refer to as a tick. Very important. If you're missing this, the entire kick falls into pieces. Okay. The second part is more of a tonal thingy. So this part right here, check it out, consists most of the times out of a snare, out of the transient of a snare, for example. Then after that part, we move on to a part that is actually the transition between, or the bridge between these two parts into the crunch or into the bass. Okay, this sounds like this. As you can hear, there's also a piece of a 909 hidden in there. So we go from high pitch, you can see that based on the waveform, to a more lower pitch. And then we have one of the most important parts as well, which is the tail, which is this guy here. Okay. So I will rename them just for reference purposes. This is the tick. The second one, like you know, I'm going to call it tonal. And here we have the oomph. And here we have the tail. These three together, they make up the punch. So we could do something like this, for example, and say, okay, group with above track. And we can refer this to as a punch. There we go. Right. We have the punch right here. And this will be the tail. Now, this bass actually is for all kicks. It doesn't matter if the kick is raw or if it's you know, euphoric, whatever you want. Reverse bass kicks, they all have the same layout. So now let's start working on our own kick. Okay, I'll just keep this here as reference material, and I will keep this routed to the master channel. And I think we'll just start off right now. All right, back again. Had to close a few applications because they were bothering me. Now everything is set up again. Let's continue. So this was our example kick and a little bit of kick theory in the background. And now we will actually start creating our own kick. So I will start off by using some kind of an app or some kind of a plugin to create a 909. This could be a synth, this could be anything. This time I want to go for EKS9, which is a very basic but very effective plugin. It creates very clean 909s. So I will say EKS9, we'll route this somewhere. Let's pick channel 35, for example. Press Ctrl L on the keyboard, and you can see it's around here. Right now, we're going to do a few things to this one. I'm not really sure what type of kick I want to create. I think I want to have something that goes near euphoric, but also, has some modern vibes to it. So the punch might be a little bit more aggressive, and the tail is going to be some kind of a blend between raw and euphoric. So first off, we're going to take this 909 and I will basically loop this. Okay, so we're going to loop this 4 times. The BPM, I will keep it, at 150. That's just fine. Oh, that was the example kick. Then on the bus where this EKS9 is being routed, I will add a equalizer. For this one I will use Pro Q, that's my go-to. And right after the equalizer I will add a distortion. It's a free distortion plugin, and it's from the same programmer as Nimble Kick and stuff like that. So it's really nice for me to use. I will then set the mode to legacy. I will keep the rest of the settings like this, turn off the soft clip just a little bit. And then I'll create a peak in the equalizer that I have added before. Cut some of the lows. Maybe just let this one go higher, right? Something like this. We're now mainly going to focus on a tail. A tail, and if something cool comes out of whatever way, of our effects chain, I will bounce stuff out, and we'll also create a punch from that later on. Okay, so I'll leave this one like that, and then we'll add another equalizer after the distortion. I will boost some of the lows, give it some more warmth. I will also change the position where the punch is starting. So let me see where we go. So then, of course, we need another distortion. We're first going to make a very, soft chain with small changes, and later on we will change settings at the top of the chain, and then you can start creating all different types of tails and sounds, and we bounce those out. We eventually end up combining those together, and then you get whatever you can call hardstyle kick. Okay, then we'll do another equalizer because it's the same thing every time. It's equalizing, distortion, equalizing, distortion, equalizing, distortion. Make this one go down a bit, whatever is being triggered. There we go. Okay, then we'll do another distortion, and now I'll introduce some hard clipping as well. And there we go. Okay, so now we open up the first equalizer, and here we're gonna work and do some minor changes, and it will change the entire sound. And we can also use this distortion button here in the EQS9 to give it some distortion from the beginning, but this will be very intense if you use this too much. But this is exactly what we want, of course. We want to have a little bit of, a little bit more power. We're also going to save this one and say, okay, this kick project. Oh, the previous one was the lead stack. Now we're going to go into kick. There we go. Select it, kick, save, boom. Okay, now we're going to play with the first equalizer and see if we can get more cool stuff out of there. Now this could be very cool for a punch. So I'm hearing something that sounds interesting, so at the end of the chain I will add an Edison and I will bounce this one out. Record, play it one time, there we go. And now I'm going to drag this one into FL, and we actually have something like a starting point. I really like the starting of this thing, so this could be a cool punch. Okay, back to the pattern that we were playing before. And now we're going to play with the settings a bit more. Okay, so maybe do a little boost here. Just try stuff out. Another cool layer for a punch. So delete it, record it, play it. Wait, I want to play it just one time. There we go. Okay, add it over here, so we have a second thing. I'm going to rename some stuff, otherwise we're not gonna know what it was for. So this is one of the punch layers. This is another punch layer. Yeah, punch layer 2. As you can see, the goal first was to start with a tail, and what do we end up doing? We start ending doing punch layers, but that's okay. Now, we'll take the second Pro Cue and start changing settings with this one. I do want to focus on creating some sort of a tail. taking some of the settings right here and just adjusting it. I want to try and create something like a tail. Let me just quickly apply a high cut and see if it sounds okay. So on the master chain, I will add a Pro Q and I will filter out the highs and just listen to the low end. That's pretty good, I guess. So we can actually, you know, start working on this. Okay, we're gonna start creating some tail layers right now. Where are we? AKS 9. There we are. All right. I want to do some equalizing because we want to get rid of some of the high information and then soft clip it again and then bounce out whatever comes out. Okay, so now I will use that same Edison that we have added before, delete what's in there right now, and you know, create another layer out of this. What I'll do is I'll just put the pattern here and just let it play like that. Record it, make sure this one is turned on, and play it. We need to mute these, of course. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, it declines very fast, which means there is not enough volume on the low end. And what causes volume to increase? Well, we need to boost it. We need to boost the low end, and maybe even soft clip it so that it gets louder. Okay. To do this by ear is very hard. So what I'll do is I'll add a wave candy to the master chain, and that way we can actually look at the waveform and see what it looks like whenever we play it. So let's just, you know, play this one. It's too fast. We can't really monitor that. So we're gonna have to go for update long, I guess. That's really fast as well. Yeah, this way we can see what actually happens. So now we can boost frequencies and see the waveform change real time. So we'll go back to the pattern and we'll play it, and we'll play with some of the settings and hopefully get a nice waveform out of it. So let's loop it and change the waveform, and hopefully we can get a straight waveform out of this. Or it doesn't necessarily have to be straight, but we need more volume. It doesn't need to decline like that. Okay, so we'll play it again. Now we'll start working with these settings. Okay, now I'm gonna loop it a bit faster because like this, just loop the pattern. This is the resonant frequency that we also, of course, always like a lot. Cut some of that. this up a bit, you know, at the G part, of course. Okay, so this is too much. Now we're gonna lower the volume. So lower the volume. And then what we do is we're gonna soft clip this. You can use anything for this. I'll use distortion and just do the soft clip boost. Okay, I'd rather not use distortion. Let's use an inflator to pump it up a little bit. So inflator. I believe there's some copycat version of this one. You can freely download that one, and it should work exactly the same as this. I haven't tried it out before because I have the original one, but this could be very interesting for you guys. Whoever wants to use Oxford Inflator, definitely Google around for the free version of this. Okay, well, let's bounce out this one. We can get rid of this, delete it, and there we go. That's a little bit more boosted. So we have our first, clean out the sides. We have our first layer for a tail. Now we're gonna move upwards in the chain again and really start creating some more characteristic sounds for the tail. So open up this guy again and make sure that we're playing EKS9. Let's play it and change settings. I kind of like this one as well. So we'll also record this one, delete it, I'll put the wave candy down here, make it a bit smaller, and record it, stop it, and there we go. We have another layer for the tail. Now let's create a few more. I won't be doing this too long because otherwise the tutorial is going to be very, very long. And you know, for a basic kick, this should be easily attainable within 1.5 hours, I guess. Also a very nice one. Record, delete, record. There we go. Okay, I think that we have, we're getting this every time. I think that we have something that we can work with. So first off, I will focus on, let me see. I won't be focusing on the punch for now. I will be focusing on the tail part. So let's try something out with this. Okay, so first I'll just rename this tail 1. Oh, rename tail 2. And here we have tail number 3. And we will route these to their corresponding channels. I will select them all and press Ctrl L on the keyboard, and it will be assigned automatically. Now, let's make sure that we set this up in the correct way already. We're going to make this bus right here, we're going to call this one kick final. This is a bus where everything comes together. This will be the punch bus. And the one next to it will be the tail bus. And the punch and the tail bus, they only go to the final kick. So route to this track only. And all the tail layers right here, they only go to the tail bus. Route to this track only. And then we have some punch sounds as well. These two right here. We're going to press Ctrl L on the keyboard and just route them over here. And these only go to the punch bus. So nothing goes to the master directly. Everything goes to its own corresponding channel. And it all lands on the kick final bus. So let's start working on this, okay? I'm going to mute these channels, or actually mute the entire sound. Make sure everything is muted. Let's listen to everything that we have, okay? We're gonna go here, make sure that we are in kind of a loop mode. And we'll take a listen to all of these, okay? And then decide what sounds cool out of these layers. Okay, so this one has a very cool beginning sound. This one has a lot of warmth to it. And this one could be a cool crunch. At the end, it makes it sound loopable. So I think that we need the warmth of the first one. I think I'm going to keep this one intact as much as I can. So the Pro Q to the bus, or where this one is going. It's a really nice warmth you got there. Very cool. This one has a very nice high end when we get to this point right here. You can see that the waveform goes from being rounded to being, you know, more squarish and having more high end in there. And that's what I like about this one. So we'll add a equalizer to this one. And we will cut out the lows. This lower part is always the resonance part, and I like to take these and play with the crossovers to get more cool effects. And the last one had something at the beginning that was pretty cool. So we might actually transform this one to some kind of a hybrid punch / tail layer. Now, first off, let's mix these together. I think I'm going to move this one upwards. I hold Shift and listen to until what point it sounds cool. Cut off the end and just go like that. Yeah, okay. I can work with that. So then we get rid of this first part here, make this one fade in. This was the tail with the warmth, right? It doesn't have a lot of movement yet, but we're going to have to work on that as well. We can do some automations to create movement, or we can use some more distortion to it. This also causes it to have more movement. I don't want this punch part in there as well, but this one had something cool towards the end, so I'll probably do something like that, right? And then we'll move around the samples just a little bit. hear that the sound changes as you move these around. If the phase changes, there are a lot of changes that make it sound different. Especially if we go to the tail bus and we add, for example, another distortion. Not so much. We wanted to move kind of. We're still searching that sweet spot, right? Maybe we should turn this one off and do a little bit of equalization. Pro Q. I turned off the distortion because it's not really having the effect that I want it to have. And this way you can also see that it's trial and error every time. Okay, I think we should do some automation. So this guy, I want this one to go up when we go towards the end of the kick. So I'll move the knob. These buttons are bugged, so I hope it's no, that's the wrong one. I'm looking at the top left corner. It should be the gain one, and I know that it says band Q here, but those buttons get mixed up a lot in FL. So I move that one, and then I want to create an automation clip, and this automation clip is going to make sure that the resonant part will go up at the end. Resonance automation. So we'll create it like that. That's cool. And now we can actually start working on that punch as well. The tail, of course, is nearly leaning towards finished. Not at all. But we want to have something, you want to have some feeling with this, okay? So let's take a listen to the punch layers. And then we can start combining them together, and then we can do, more focused sound design every time. I think that we can combine these as a whole with the kick. Let's just try it out. It's a really nice layer, this one as well. Okay, so what do we like from this one? The highest ploop there is in there. I really like that one. So I will slice this up because the ploop is somewhere here, I guess. Guess it's hidden here. And in here, what do we like here? I like this part all the way down here. So we'll turn this one off and this one off, and we'll introduce this one into the kick. All right, turn this one off and just take a listen. All right, make it fade out just a little bit. Maybe move this back. And this one is the one that we want to have now. No, I think this is Yeah, it's this part right here that makes it. Let's pitch this one down a bit. All right, you hear that? And then see if we can combine it with this one. I think that I really like that first part right there. We might want to get rid of this. This is like the oomph going into the tail. Yeah, this could be cool. This one goes back a little bit. And then we have that peeping sound. Okay, we will add these 2 parts later on as well, but we're going to have to give them different layers and make them, you know, unique. So I'll say make unique, and these will be crunches for the tail part. So I'll say tail 4 and tail 5. And we move these down like that. The punch is really loud now because I have not done any equalizing here. So now we're gonna do some equalization on the punch layers. So I'll add Pro Q. You can see that this is a resonant part. We want to take out the lows here. Take into some highs. There we go. And then for this guy, what do we want here? It's some dirty. It's a dirty sound, right? Pro Q. Maybe give it a bit more oomph. And this is like that sound right there. Move this one to the right a bit. You can already hear the character change of the punch. And now we're going to play with the pitches of these things as well, right? So let's just change the pitch of these layers. So now right now I've selected this one. Let's change the pitch. Okay, we don't want that. And this one, let's change this one as well. No. Add some pogo. No, we don't want that. I think I kind of like it this way. So now we'll go to the punch bus, and we will clean up the sound here. Put on a soft clipper as well, so that the peak is not too big. Add some reverb. Maybe I'll add some distortion to this layer right here. Is it this one or this one? It's this one. Let's do some, you know, some distortion to this. And then give it a small boost. Now we're gonna okay. And remember that we had those, you know, those higher pitched sounds, a tick and all that stuff. We will now simply add some sounds to it to make it more, you know, make it snappier. So for this specific part, I will use a tick or create a tick to show you guys that this is not rocket science. I want to actually use, you know, something that's already in FL. Why the hell not? Let's start off with a ticking sound, like a no. For example, right? Take this one, route it somewhere where we can put it into the bus. So I'll say this will be renamed to tick, and we will send it to channel 10. So I'll press Ctrl L, and from the tick we're going to go to the punch bus because this part belongs to the punch. I'm going to make the sample very, very short. We will cut it. Where's the cutter? Here we go. Hold Alt and cut this part right off. Turn it on. Okay. Just this sound. This is all you need to have a snappy start, okay? We need the tail to be quiet because now we're working on just the punch, which in my opinion is the hardest part of a hardstyle kick. Punches are terrible, you know. Make some room for the tick. So this is without, and that's with. I'll make it a bit louder. I'll go to clip and boost it like that. See that? Without and with. So that's the first part. Then we can also use a snare and take the transient of the snare to get it in there as well. Let's see, we need a nice snare. Not a clap snare because it's too wide in the stereo image. We need something that's snappy. No. Could be cool. This could be cool as well. I'll add a empty track in here. Take this snare. Send this to this one. You know, and I'll call it snare layer. Rename snare layer. Press Ctrl L on the keyboard and send it to the punch bus as well. And now we're going to play a little bit with this, see what we can do. Turn the volume down. It has too much low end, but what we can do is, you know, pitch it up. Okay, I'll leave this in there. Now we want to have some sort of a reverb layer, I guess. Just clean up this one. No. Oh, where is that low end coming from? Is that you? Of course it's you. We should, you know, low cut this. On the punch bus, bring back some of the lows. Okay. So now we will leave this layer on, you know, the punch layer, and we will start working on the tail. Okay. Now, if you start this one, you can immediately hear that it starts too early. Okay. So we're gonna take that fade a bit more aggressive and just move it back like that. This is more what you want, like that. Take the volume back up, sorry. Kind of like that resonance. We're going to turn the volume of the punch down as well. Take the resonance up the tail just a little bit. Okay, let me see. Introduce another new layer, of course, of the tail, which is this one. Kind of had a very cool crunch to it. Where do you belong? 7 and 8. Let me see. I already had something to 7. Yeah, that's not gonna work. We're gonna set you over here. You're gonna go to 14, and you are gonna go to 15. And then I will select you both and press Ctrl L so that it gets renamed. And these two layers will go to the tail bus again. So route to this track only. And I will introduce these sounds as well. Where is my mute thing? Here it is. And now we're going to play with the phase of this thing. So we'll move this around and see what happens. Okay. And the problem right now is that there is too much bass in there. So we're going to Pro Q. There we go. Move it up. Take out the bass. And then we're going to play with the phase. We can also, you know, change the polarity. Oh, of course, of this one, not that one. There we go. You can already hear that it's giving some extra high-end information to it. Let's introduce this one as well. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet. I do know that we're going to have to cut the lows out there. Probably. So I'll add Pro Q and then just play it and see what happens. That sounds pretty cool actually, without even cutting the low end. Move it around and see whatever happens to it, if it changes, you know. Maybe go here. No, not like that. That makes it kind of jumpy. Yeah, that kind of works, right? Let's do some equalizing. That's a nice crunch to it this way. Then I want to have an automation that tames down the high-end frequencies whenever we go to the end. So what do I mean with that? Well, we need something to make it kind of roll, because now it doesn't really roll, so you can't really easily loop this. So we're going to filter out some of the information, automate it. So I'll go to Pro Q. I'll add this at the end. See, that is something that we need. So I will automate this, create automation clip, and let this one roll off at the end. Not too much, but just a little bit like that, you know. Maybe move this one back a bit. Maybe give it a different roll off. No. Higher. Okay, what we need after that is some distortion. So I think that I'll add another distortion unit. This time I'll go with trash. So let's add it and mix it in. That's too much, of course. Try and find out which one we need. There we go. And now play again with the phases of some of these samples and just shift around the phase. So I'm doing this by holding shift and scrolling, okay? That sounds better. More resonance. And we do need to do something with this. I think I'm going to bounce out this punch buzz layer. Edison. Render play. So this is our punch. The punch layer that we created. I want to try some stuff out with this. We also need some extra information for this kick to work. There's a lot of low end in there. I'm going to get rid of that. And I think it has something to do with this exact layer right here. This. More like this, I guess. Oh, that sounds cleaner. Hear that? I'll leave the other one out. And maybe pitch this one up. I'm not sure yet. Also very nice. Right? Like that. Maybe then do a pogo. I kind of like this for some reason. I'm not sure why, but but we have to do some thing with the tail again. The tail is cool, but it needs another noise layer. So you get more movement towards the entire thing. It gets more energy. And I'll show you exactly how I do that. So right now I'm going to add a very basic plugin that belongs to FL. It's called 3 times OSC. And we're going to open up the noise oscillator. So that's pure noise. You know, I'll add a Edison to the master and record, play it. That's all we need. Thank you so much, OSC. You can go now. Okay, bye bye. And then we just take this one out, and we put it into the timeline as well. So that's pure noise right there. Now this noise is something that we're going to combine into the tail bus. So I'll send the noise to number 9. I will rename it. Say, okay, hello noise. And noise bus will, let's Control L to rename it. The noise bus will go to the tail bus then, and I'll make it very, very soft. Okay, I'll turn it off at first. Because there is so much distortion on this channel, we can blend it in, and it will give energy to the tail. But we're gonna have to be very cautious with this. Okay, so I'll loop the kick, and then I'll slowly mix in the noise, and then you can hear exactly what I mean. All right, there we go. Oh, what the hell is this? Yeah, there we go. Now, make it fade in like that as well. Maybe make it fade out like that. I think we'll send it to one of the tail parts. And here it sounds best because there probably is some distortion here. I'll add some distortion to this one as well. So now I'm adding distortion to the tail 2 part. Maybe just take the entire length of it anyways. Okay, maybe do some equalization. I'm gonna remove this trash again. What I said earlier is trial and error. having a bit of a cold, which isn't very nice, but we have to get through this. Okay, so the noise layer is not doing its magic right now, and I think that it's the reason because there's not enough distortion to really push it through. So I will do some equalization to the noise so that it gets more distortion. Kind of works. So if I turn this off, you'll hear the difference. So right now, this is with the noise. That's without. Okay, on to the next part. We are going to have to make everything a bit more powerful. So now we will work on some other parts. So I'll equalize the tail, equalize the punch, and then we will create some reverbs to really get it more wider into the stereo image. And then we can do the final mixing for the kick and actually start testing it out. Some more distortion. Maybe add a distortion at the top of the chain. And we can do some symmetry distortion. Balances it out just a little bit more, which is okay. And then I'll add a Pro Q at the end of the chain and equalize this a little bit. Okay, so I like this part. I like the low end. I like the warmth, so we're going to boost the warmth just a little bit. Maybe tame this a bit. No. Okay. Okay, make the noise a bit softer. Then I will add create a reverb based upon the noise. So what I'll do with the tail bus selected is this one. Okay, I'll turn off the punch bus and just listen to the tail bus. I'm going to add a Valhalla at the end of the chain, and after the Valhalla I'll add a Edison so we can actually record the reverb. There we go. Let's see, make this one more deep. It can be long, which is okay. We'll play it and we'll record the reverb. Oh, it can be way longer. Stop that, delete this, record. Now we're gonna actually add the ear candy to the kick. So here we have our tail reverb. I'll rename this a tail reverb. And then I'll turn Edison and Valhalla off. And we will actually mix this one in with the tail. We're going to route this to channel 12, for example. Press Ctrl L and make sure that we actually route this to the bus where the tail comes together. I do believe that we need to cut some of the lows because there is a lot of low frequencies in this reverb as well. I'll play it. You can hear that it gives some crunch and stereo image, which is exactly one of the goals that we need. Crunch and resonance is what we want. Okay, so now we will play this and introduce it very, very generally. Okay. Turn the punch on so we can actually hear it. And we will slowly blend this one. You can hear that the stereo image has been getting some resonance. And now we will actually move the phase. So this is with, that's without. I might actually boost some of the frequencies that I like. This one I don't like so much. There we go. That's the first part. And then we're going to do something comparable with the punch. We're going to create some kind of a suction effect so that the kick feels like it is very good at looping. Okay. And later on, we're going to boost everything up. So we're going to do two things. We're going to use one reverb to give it more stereo image, to give this punch more stereo image. And we're going to create another reverb to sweep it up at the end. So first, I will go to the punch bus and move this Edison down here somewhere. Take a Valhalla and make it very, very short, like that. Yeah, that's perfect. And then I'll just record this, delete, record, play. That's the first one. So we'll drag it in and we'll make this punch sound more stereo-like. Okay, noise goes off. I'm going to call you short reverb. It's like a little slapback room-ish kind of effect, so it sounds like the punch and not so dry, you know. Let's add this to channel 13. It's one that I see that is free. Press Ctrl L again and route this to the punch bus. And we will slowly mix it in. Oh, turn off the reverb on this thing because we already finished recording it. And then we'll slowly blend this in, okay? Where is it? Short reverb. Where are you? Oh, here we are. Okay, there we go. You hear that little change right there? Very dry, less dry, with more stereo image. Okay, so that's the short reverb. Oh, right now we'll create the longer reverb. I'll make room here and make sure that this one goes into the punch bus. Then we'll go to the punch bus again, and we'll change the Valhalla settings and make it a bit longer. DK, something like that. I'm not sure, you know. High cut, no high cut. We need the highs right now. Yeah, basically play it and record it. So delete this, record, play. That's kind of what we need. I'll add another empty track in here, and I'll put it in here. Now, this is going to be cool, I hope. I need to think back because it's years ago that I've done this so many times. This is going to be the long reverb slash, yeah, long reverb. I'll just call it that. And we will send this to bus 14. And then I'll press Ctrl L, and there we go. And let me see. Now we need to actually introduce it. We can do this by reversing it. We still need to figure out what to do with it. So I'm just going to test it out. Oh, turn it off as an effect, of course. And just quickly. I think we're gonna have to do something like that. And make it a bit louder. Let me just I'm just looking at the wave candy down here, and there's some stuff that needs to be done with equalizing as well. So there we go, just a little bit like that. And I think that we should definitely boost that low end as well. But we might do that on the kick final bus, because on the kick final bus, as you can see, we don't have effects yet. That is because we are going to maturize, if that's an existing word, the kick. I do feel that the tail is starting a bit too fast. It's not doing that much, right, this effect right now. I think we need to equalize this one. It's something that I forgot to do. Pro Q. Yeah, something like that. Take out the lows. Save it. I want to make it a little bit more bouncy. So I think that we are going to have to place another automation clip to do something with this, and Let me see. Where are we going to do that? Well, it's going to happen on the tail bus somewhere, but I'm not sure what we're going to do. So we're going to have to test it out with equalizers. Maybe boost the low end. Yeah, I think that. I think we're going to have to do something with this just a little bit, you know. So to make it sound more as it is loopable, some movement, that's basically what we're missing. I'll go to create automation clip from the last tweaked parameter. There we go. Let me see now. It's this one. Move this up as we progress towards the end, like that. Maybe just a little bit more faster. Okay, not too much. Sounds better. It might be a little bit too much though, so we're gonna go here again. Check out this thing. Yeah, it's a bit too much. It's too high. Maybe give it some more mids here. Okay, so now we're going to work on the final bus, and in here we're going to have to do everything. We're going to do equalization, we're going to do limiting, everything that we need to make this kick stand out. Okay, so I'll start off with an equalizer, and of course with saving the project, because if this one crashes, well, I won't be too happy. And we will first, you know, maybe I should take like a reference for now, right? So I will try and just bounce this out. Yeah, let's just bounce this one out. But before we do that, I will add a Oxford limiter, and I'm using this inflator. Sorry, I'm using this to make sure that the waveform is doing fine. So we will actually. Yeah, I need to improve this, boost it up here, take it down here. I can see that there's some other information as well. I actually also want to add a trash, because we want to be as close to a finished product as we can. Okay, I'll do the drive thing, boost it just a little bit, take the mix down. It has a nice crunch to it, so let's loop this. This balances it out just a little bit more, you know. Let me take this down as well. Let me see. Eventually we ended up creating some kind of a euphoric one, right? Which is funny. Okay, no problem. On the final kick bus, now we'll start to boost this. trying to make sure that it's not clipping that hard, right? I do believe that we need more resonance. You know, the resonance automation. We need to play with that just a bit more. That one is good, but this one. And we need that high cut to be more present at the end, like that, you know. Not that much, but no, we can't do that. Maybe go down just a little bit. Noise. I actually like it without the noise. So I'll turn off the noise, so just delete it. Boom. Bye-bye noise. We can do some final thingies with this kick. We could actually play with the volumes of the punches just a little bit and see what happens with that, you know, just play with the pitches, with the volumes, just play with everything. The next sample. We don't want that. Let me see, what else can we do with this one? Don't want something like that as well. This ticky sound. I want this to be harder or something, louder or whatever. So the tick volume, I will boost it. There we go. And then I'll start flipping some of these of the tail layers. You know, flip the polarization and see if it changes. Next one. Next one. Wow. That's some kind of a weird new type of kick. Maybe try tail 2. And then move it a bit. I think that we've done everything that we can for so far for the, for the time being. Otherwise, it's going to be too much tweaking there and here, and eventually it won't improve that much anymore. So let's do the final processing. Maybe we should do some equalization here. And as I stated earlier, I wanted to check it out and see a reference kick with this as well. Let me see. So how can we do this? Well, I think that we can actually do this. Select everything and say group with the track above. And we'll say this is our kick, right? We can turn everything off at once, I hope. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. we can do this, right? Like this, and turn it off. Yeah. And then we'll just listen to this one. This was a pretty good euphoric kick. Okay, now listen to our version again. You know, a different type of kick, but it sounds okay. I do think that it needs equalization, so we will improve this by doing this, okay? It's now getting pushed a little bit too much. So we need to tame the volume down. You can see that it started to clip. Okay, so now we will actually make sure that we can bounce it out. And then we have created a very basic kick. It took us more than an hour, unfortunately. But that's the way it goes with these types of things. It's a long creative process. So let me see. We want to actually cut some of the reverb things like that. You know, take it away. We'll just leave this one here. Make it fade out as we go towards the end. Oh, cool. And maybe, you know, cut these out as well. Play with the envelopes a little bit, like that. Okay. Maybe we could do one more thing to this, and that would be, you know, adding a tantrum. Tantrum is awesome. And then just loop it. Well, let's just stop it. Okay, so anyhow, tantrum goes off. We will record it. This will be the final product. Edison, record, play it, record the entire thing. Boom. Let me see if there's too much clipping. Kind of is, yeah. There is a little bit too much clipping, so I'm going to have to tame this one down. Like that, maybe. Yeah. Record. No. There we go. Okay. So I'll do this. Wait up. Stop. Take this and just make this one fade out. Okay, so this is our final product. This is what we've created, and the waveform, I have to say, it's not the most pretty waveform that I've seen, of course. There's also a weird plop going on here. But this is what we ended up with. Let's check it out. And if you flip this entire thing, it can sound different as well. We did pretty well, I guess, because there's not many, not much sound changing. So if you compare this to the Naughty Kick, for example, it's different, but it's fun. pitch it down as well, of course. So I'll go here and oh, we can actually test this one in nimble kick. So I'll add nimble kick. You know, load in the sample. Is that possible to do it that way, or isn't it possible? I don't think so. I think we're gonna have to save this one first. So I'll just go here and say save as kick December. Then I'll add nimble kick. Go to load. And where is it? That's weird. Save it again. Wave. Desktop. Kick. Save. Nimble kick. There we are. Okay. I think it actually pitches pretty well as well. We can actually do like a test baseline, right? So let's just quickly test it out. Oh, don't do that, EKS. Okay, let's play with this and see if it if we can get it to sound a bit okay. I think it kind of works, right? Yeah. Can also mix in some of the reverb. Well guys, this was the kick creation. Thanks for watching. This will also be the kick that we'll be using for the final track, because that is, you know, that's the appointment that I made with you guys, so we're gonna have to use this one. Take care and see you next time.